Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Newswave, the weekly podcast from us here at Chaos Radio, where we bring you fresh stories, local voices and a good dose of community spirit from right here in Cornwall. We're doing things a bit differently this week though, because we're coming to you live from the Royal Cornwall Show. Over the next hour, we'll share some of the live content we shared on day one of the iconic show, as well as a few very special bonus interviews as well, catching all the sounds, stories and characters that make this event so very special. From sheep shearing commentary, stay with me, to the roar of a chainsaw carver at work, from the ancient skill of Cornish wrestling to the passion of people keeping our rare breeds alive, we've got it all and plenty more besides, let me tell you. So come with us as we bring our own brand of chaos to the Royal Cornwall Show here on Newswave. Okay, so the Royal Cornwall Show took place from the 5th to the 7th of June this year, and as always, was a real highlight of the Cornish calendar. It's more than just a show though, isn't it? It's a celebration of everything Cornwall does best, from farming and food to crafts, music and rural life. It's where, as we saw, generations come together, deals get done over pasties, and the community shows off its immense pride and passion for where we live. Now, Joe Allen and I were lucky enough to be right there in the thick of it, chatting with characters from all corners of the showgrounds and beaming all of that back to Chaos Radio presenters Ross Lannan and Janice Rose. Here's a bit of what we got up to.
Newswave.
Let's move things on a little bit, because I said to you earlier on, we've got some eyes and ears on the ground this morning. Yes, Tom Howe and Mr. Joe Allen from the Chaos team are live at the Royal Cornwall Showground, and fingers crossed, by the power of technology, we're going to link up with them now. Tom, are you there?
I am here, Ross Lannan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm speaking to you live from Royal Cornwall Show, but Joe Allen, I've just sent him onto the stage in front of hundreds of people sat here. We're witnessing the sheep shearing competition. We're here on the first day, and I'm working Joe Allen quite hard already. He's up on the stage, getting caught up in the midst of all the kind of, I don't know, excitement. I don't really know what's going on. How do you judge a sheep shearing competition? It looks good. It looks like they're doing great. Yeah, Joe's been up there capturing some footage and some photography as well. So it's all very fast paced. There's a lot going on.
Yes, so you're obviously there. It's day one. You've obviously thrown yourself in at the deep end already with some sheep shearing, which I love. If this doesn't scream Cornwall, I don't know what does.
Absolutely. Do you know what? We don't do things by half on Chaos, do we? We love bringing a little bit of chaos. So we've signed ourselves up for sheep shearing this morning. Following this, we're going to duck the many rain clouds, let me tell you, and watch some ancient Cornish wrestling, which sounds really fun. Wow. We've got chainsaw carvery on our list for later on as well. And not forgetting the Dog and Duck show at 3 p.m. We are bringing you the latest, greatest breaking news today on Royal Cornwall Show. But this is what it's all about, isn't it? There's so much around every corner. There's something rather just magnificent. And this, I must admit, it's my first sheep shearing competition. And I'm really enjoying it. It looks, I don't know how willing the sheep volunteers are to be sheared. Some of them look a lot more comfortable than others, but it's brought a huge crowd, and we're really excited. And as I said, I threw Joe straight into it, not knowing what to sort of think, and I sent him up there on the stage, and then they just chucked out these sheep, and I thought, crikey, in a minute they're going to hand Joe a shear. He's going to have to put his camera down and have to work on these sheep.
Brilliant. And Tom, how was it getting into the show this morning? Like, obviously we all know traffic wise it's usually can be bedlam. How was it getting through?
slow progress. So yeah, it was slow. We're lucky as members of the press, and we don't take it for granted. We've got members parking, so we are slightly closer to the area, sort of parking wise. But yes, slow. It's busy today. It's noticeably filling up as well. We got here sort of round about 9:30, something like that, and there was a few people milling around, but now it is full. Rain has. Oh, it was pretty awful when we got here. It is rather soggy underfoot, but the rain has stopped now, so we're looking forward to 3 really great days. And yeah, it's just such an incredible event. Brings so much interest and so many people to this little corner of Cornwall, doesn't it? Already there's so many people here. So as I said, we've got some exciting things on our schedule today, and that's just a snippet of what's going on as well.
Cannot wait. Well, what we're going to do, Tom, is you're going to be linking back up with us each hour, so we're going to check in with you around about this time in an hour's time, and we'll find out what else you've been up to and who you've stumbled across. All right?
Yes, yeah, brilliant. I'm going to try and see if I can find someone to explain the sheep shearing and what you're judging them on, and all this kind of stuff. So I'll come back with some expert advice in the next hour.
Amazing. Right, guys, go have fun. Go get us lots of interview content, and we'll speak with you later.
Yeah, I'm going to go find a very woolly Joe now. Wish me luck.
See you later.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Well, there we go, guys. That was Mr. Tom Allen there. Not Tom Allen. We've got Joe Allen and Tom Howe. Nice little mix up there. Hey, they are one now. They are at the Royal Cornwall Showground live. Looking forward to linking up with them again in an hour's time and finding out what else they've been up to.
Newswave.
Right, guys, let's move things on a little bit now. We're going to do another live little link up now. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Tom Howe, who is live from the Royal Cornwall Showground. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Ross. I am here live. A Cornish wrestling exhibition is just starting in front of me, so I might need to be quick because I might get swept up in this. There's a lot of men around in their sort of Cornish fineries looking excellent, and they're chucking each other around. So I've just taken a step back for a second to speak to you.
Hey, you coward. We want to see you involved.
I know, though. I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
How's it going? We've not spoken to you for the last hour, so have you been out and about exploring?
Yes. So, when I was last with you, we were over at the sheep shearing competition, which just kept going up different levels, and it was absolutely brilliant. The amount of effort they put into it is incredible, and it's a real workout. And I teased that I was going to be chatting to somebody afterwards, who was an expert, who actually knew what they were talking about regarding sheep shearing. I could tell you that they were definitely sheep, but that's about as far as I could go. So I've got a little sneak peek of my chat with him to play for you now. Here we go. So first of all, would you mind just introducing yourself to us and telling me a little bit about what you just presided over there, please?
Morning, my name's Hugh Condren. I'm a sheep shearing commentator. I commentate at the sheep shearing here at the Royal Cornwall. I'm lucky enough to travel around the shows all over the country, but I'm the man on the mic down the front, sort of ruling the roost, I suppose. I start the competitions and then try and get the crowd involved, and yeah, it's a great thing to be part of.
Well, you did a sterling job. For people that aren't aware, what exactly is a sheep shearing competition? What does it involve? What are you marking people on? All of the above.
We try and take the wool off a sheep as efficiently, as cleanly and as quickly as possible. We've got a team of judges that are looking for any double cutting of the wool, which devalues the fleece. It's a wonderful fibre, and we try and keep that brilliant fibre. It's one of the most sustainable fibres around, and we try and keep that as good as possible. Then we've got another team of judges out the back that are looking for any wool left on the sheep. Any skin damage before it's treated will be penalised, and then we put that with the time. So it's not the fastest shearer, it's the fastest, cleanest shearer that we're looking for, and that's what we end up with at the end of the competition.
And this is a really serious deal, isn't it? It's drawn a huge crowd here as well, and Cornwall has a very special place in the world of sheep shearing as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Just up the road at Launceston, just at the top of Cornwall, is a very famous record shed. Matt Smith and his family at Trefranc. Matt Smith is the individual ewe record holder. That's 731 ewes in a 9-hour day. We've also got the 9-hour lamb record, which is held by Stuart Connor. That is 872 lambs in a 9-hour day. And then last year, Una Cameron set the 9-hour women's record, where she showed 517 ewes in a day. And before that, Marie Preble, she held the 8-hour women's ewe record in that shed as well, 460, I think it was. So at one time, it's held 3 of the big 4 in the world in that shed. And then the 8-hour lamb record is held up in Staffordshire by Nick Greaves. And then tomorrow at the shearing shed, we've got selection with the Open. It's a qualifying year for the World Championships. And tomorrow we've got Matt Smith, who's just won the English Championship, to get into the team. He's an adopted Cornishman and Englishman, and he's going back to New Zealand to represent England. And then the other team spot is being decided on the circuit, and all those guys are here tomorrow battling it out. So tomorrow we'll have 2 world record holders. We'll have past world champions. They're all coming here to Cornwall. So tomorrow the roof will be rocking on this shed. So it's a great thing, and we're very lucky. The crowd here at Royal Cornwall are very appreciative of what the guys put on in front of us. We have a lot of fun. As a commentary team, we have a bit of fun as well. But the guys they're amazing, and the sheep here at Royal Cornwall, the whole committee and everything, they put on a good show, and that's why the boys travel down and battle it out, and it will be a battle here tomorrow.
Yes, incredibly physical, isn't it? I wasn't sure. I've not witnessed. I've not been privileged enough to witness a sheep shearing competition before. But it's very physical, and some of the sheep are more willing volunteers than others, aren't they?
They are, but it's down to the skill of how you hold them, and that's what we're looking for: is to keep those sheep calm, relaxed as you handle them. And shearing 250 sheep is the equivalent energy usage of running a marathon. A lot of these guys are now going out and they'll shear 300, 400, 500 sheep every day. So that's the equivalent of running 2 marathons. Then they go home, they grind their gear, they go back and they go ready to go again. And of course we've had great weather recently, lovely dry spell of weather, so you can be working 6-7 days a week. Up in the Cotswolds where I am, we're very, very dry, but the sheep are shearing well. So because of the good spell of weather, it's been going really well. But these guys are fit. They've got to be fit. They eat well, they drink, they're looking after themselves. And when we get into the record side of things, Matt Luxton, another Cornishman, he's been training these record holders all over the world now. We've taken nutrition, we've taken hydration, we've taken the training, the organisation, we've sort of taken it to the next level, and that's all been done here in Cornwall.
There we go, Ross. It's intense, isn't it? I've never sheared a single sheep, and there's that one gentleman from Launceston who sheared 900 in 8 hours. It's just incredible, and the equivalent of 2 marathons as well, back to back. So, yeah, no, more credit to them. They can keep it, I think.
Yeah, I have never been so invested in sheep in my life. This is brilliant. I love this, and it's mad.
The amount of wool as well. I've never seen quite so much wool, and that's I spoke a little bit off air about what happens to that now, because there was an incredible amount, and that's now being transported to make obviously woolly jumpers and things like this, but insulation, carpets, and it goes all around the world, as do these competitions. So it is a really serious deal. And just to underline it one more time, there are 4 world records in sheep shearing. There you go, you didn't know that before we started this conversation, and 3 of those are held in Cornwall, so something to be very proud of for the Cornish people.
Very much indeed. I love it, Tom. Honestly, I'm hoping there's a lot of sheep talk here. I'm assuming there's lots of other things going on as well. What's the plan for the next hour then?
Well, I will tease a photo that should shortly be up on Chaos Radio socials. Joe and I took a selfie with a cow, so that was exciting. We've also, I'm going to share a little bit later on in Janice Rose's show between 1 and 4. We've interviewed the Rare Breeds Trust as well, which was incredible. Seeing some really rare animals from around the British Isles, which was really exciting. And yeah, like I said, in a moment, we're getting involved in our our Cornish wrestling on, Ross.
Sounds great.
Wish us luck.
I am sending you all the luck. Brilliant. Cannot wait to see those photos as well. So yeah, guys, keep an eye on all the Chaos socials. And Tom, we'll be checking in with you again in the next hour.
Fantastic. Yes, have a great time, and I'll speak to you a little bit later on.
Yeah, go grab yourself a pasty or an ice cream for lunch, all right?
That sounds jolly good.
Love it. Right, speak to you in a bit.
Thanks, Ross. Bye.
Bye. There we go, guys. Mr. Tom Howe live on the ground. Well, not laying on the ground, but he is at the Royal Cornwall Showground, reporting live for us and getting us all the gossip and scoop here at Chaos Radio. Fantastic stuff.
Newswave.
Well, I feel that song was made for the person I'm going to speak to next. Some nights and by fun, we are speaking to our head of content here at Chaos Radio, Tom Howe, who is somewhere in the Royal Cornwall Showground. Tom, good afternoon.
Janice Rose, hello. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear. You're coming through crystal clear. We love it. So tell me all about the vibe. What's the atmosphere like there, Tom?
Well, had we spoken 5 minutes ago, it would have been bright and breezy and everyone's having a great time. But as soon as I tuned in to speak to you, it is absolutely throwing it down with rain now again.
No.
So I know. Actually, to report the news, if you like, let's start with that.
Yes.
Numbers don't look like they're down. We were a little bit concerned when we first got here this morning because it was quite quiet. The rain was really heavy. The traffic was challenging, as it always is, getting in. But actually, we were met by a huge amount of people on the site. So it looks as if the rain hasn't deterred people from coming here today. On Thursday, the traditional sort of locals day, if you like, here at the Royal Cornwall Show. So, Janice, we have been busy, let me tell you, as Joe Allen puts his hand out and tells me that the rain is slowing down now. So it's getting a bit better.
So what have you been up to, Tom Howe? What have you been up to?
I don't know if you heard sort of our conversations with Ross earlier, but we've been getting stuck in with some sheep shearing. We then went... actually, one I'm going to share with you a little bit later on in your show, if that's okay. We met the Rare Breeds Trust as well, which are doing some incredible work supporting rare breeds of animals here on the British Isles and in Cornwall. And then we got stuck into some Cornish wrestling. So I know we've...
What, literally, Tom?
Quite literally. I know we've got to cut to some news and weather in a sec. Well, I could do the news and weather for you if you like, very quickly.
No, that's fine. We've got plenty of time to chat to you. We need to know about this. So were you in the ring? This is what we need to know.
So we met the Cornish wrestling team, and we'll give you some more detail for that later. But it is absolutely fantastic. They were chucking each other around, and they're all volunteers as well. And I said to one of them, "What a great thing to be able to do, to come and demonstrate in front of hundreds of, thousands probably of people throughout the weekend, get a day off work and just chuck each other around for the day, like let off a bit of steam." They were having a great time.
Do you think that could be a Chaos away day? Are you seeing that vibe there?
Yes.
Yes.
I can definitely see that, Janice. But I can definitely see that. I can see the matchups now. Anyone taller than me, I'm going to be in trouble against, aren't I? I'm going to be straight on my back, I think. But that was fantastic.
So you've had a good wander around the stands and across the show.
Yes.
Have you come across the food area yet? You know my love of food. Have you had anything to eat yet? Tell me, tempt me, make me feel jealous, Tom. Come on, spill the beans.
Well, we are going to venture this afternoon into the Royal Cornwall food sort of festival area, if you like. We're going to treat ourselves to that and go and meet some of the Cornish food and drink providers that are here today. But we have had some lunch, had some lovely Cornish barbecued pulled pork, which was incredible. Joe had a nice burger as well, is that right? Yeah, Joe had a nice burger. He's nodding to me sort of contently here. But yes, food and drink wise, we're going to tackle that this afternoon and go into the food hall and meet some of the brilliant people bringing their Cornish wares to Royal Cornwall Show.
And can I put out a call for a taster bag? Any cheese there? Of course, you know my love of cheese. You know, I will taste test it all tomorrow. Just leave it in the studio upon your return, okay? Or in the fridge, and then I get it out of the studio.
Absolutely.
So have you managed to catch up with any performances at all? Because I know that Reese Wyn-Jones is playing on the Kelly stage.
Yes. No, we haven't been over that way yet. We plan this afternoon to do that as well. We've got a couple of points that we want to hit throughout the day. We're now going to head off to the Mental Health Hub, which is the first time they've had one here on the Royal Cornwall site. It's massive. There's loads of organisations in there doing some great work. So we're going to go meet them and talk about that first for the Royal Cornwall show. And then we're going to go and try our hand at some chainsaw carvery, because why not, Janice? Why not?
Oh, I know the guy who does chainsaw he's a real international champion. I will find it on my Insta. We'll find out who you're talking to, and I'll know whether I've chatted to him before. But that looked...
I will.
They do it so graciously, and it looks so gorgeous. If I did it, it would just look like firewood. Literally. It's like, is that a nose? Is that a wing? No, I just stuck together.
Mine's gonna probably look like someone sat on it or something. But we're heading over there for 2:30, and then we're entering the dog and duck show at 3:00 as well.
Who's the dog and who's the duck?
So we're going to rock paper scissors for that, I think, and see how we go. But we're doing that as well. Do you know what? Last year, you can see all the coverage at Chaos.radio from last year. We went around and spoke to so many worthwhile organisations here in Cornwall, flying the flag for Cornwall. This year, we're kind of approaching it a little bit differently and going for some of the more visual stuff. So we're going to be sharing a lot on social media over the next few days, things that you can really kind of get a visual appreciation for. And yeah, the wrestling was one of those. That was so much fun. And of course, the sheep shearing. I had never seen sheep shearing before, really up close. It is something to behold. And actually... I think I said to Ross earlier, I've never done one. There's a chap from Launceston that's done 900 in 8 hours.
I know.
And apparently it's
the way they do that is just amazing.
Marathons.
I mean,
absolutely insane.
It is. I mean, to cope with a sheep that's wriggling and giggling, and then make sure I'll be scared of nicking it. I'll be saying, "Oh, sorry. I mean, they'd be plastered as a go-go if I tried it. Really, they would.
Oh, yeah, those poor sheep. Like, as I said, there were some more willing volunteers than others, but they did a great job, and all that wool is now going into to being used as well. None of it wasted. It's all going into carpets or jumpers or whatever it might be now. So yes, all very environmentally friendly.
Oh, they normally have a stand there that does a bit of weaving there as well. So I don't know whether she's ever share.
Right next door.
Ah, right, okay.
Right next door.
I love the synergy of it all.
Oh yeah, do you know what they do? They do this very well. It's looking, apart from the weather, Royal Cornwall Show is looking beautiful this year. And as I said, the animals are fantastic. Actually, we met Joe has got an excellent shot, which we'll share of a ram. It almost looks like the ram's taking a selfie. We'll share it for people that might be interested on social media. It's very cute.
Well, we've had orangutans taking selfies, Tom. So why not rams? I mean, why not indeed?
Stop calling me names, Janice. That's not fair.
I always call you Tom, head of content. Okay, Tom, we're going to cut across some music, but we'll be listening out for you. We'll be catching up with you a little bit later on, hopefully about 2:30ish, and then about 3:15. So we'll find out all the information. So I want lots more excitement. I need the cheese gossip. Okay, can you do that for me?
Yes, this is Tom House signing out, your cheese correspondent, live on Chaos Radio.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you there, Tom and Joe Allen there at the Royal Cornwall Show. If you're heading down there will be traffic. But whatever you're doing, make sure you keep it chaos.
Newswave.
Now we're back at the Royal Cornwall Show, where the atmosphere is buzzing and there's so much to enjoy, from livestock parades and artisan food stalls to live music and hands-on rural crafts. The showground is bursting with Cornish pride. Joining us again from the heart of the action is Tom Howe, head of content here at Chaos Radio, who's been soaking up the sights, sounds and stories across the event. Hello again, Tom.
Good afternoon, Janice. Nice to be talking to you. You okay?
Absolutely fine. What have you been getting up to? Give me all the gossip I need to know.
Well, we first of all, a Janice update. We haven't been to see the cheese yet, but we won't let you down. I know, that's our next kind of port of call. But we've been having a great time. I'm going to share with you now a couple of voices from around the Royal Cornwall Showground site here. The weather, by the way, let's do a quick weather update. It's breezy down here near the woodland area, but it's not raining, so that's the most important thing. But here we go. So I'm going to share with you a friend of Chaos, Chris Kent now from Active Plus. Now, earlier we were opposite the sheep shearing area, and we left there awestruck, and then we're even more awestruck because we walked into the Mental Health Hub, which is a brand new thing for Royal Cornwall Show this year, and Chris gave us the lowdown on it, and here he is. Okay, we are now back opposite the sheep shearing area that we were earlier on this morning, and we are here in the Mental Health Hub, a first for the Royal Cornwall Show, and we're going to be chatting to some of the organisations here, starting with Active Plus. And who are we talking to this afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name's Chris Kent. I'm the Operations Manager and Veteran Coordinator for Active Plus.
Chris, it's great to see you again. For people who might not be aware or in need of a bit of a refresh, can you just give us the lowdown on Active Plus and the work that you do, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the core of everything we do, we employ wounded, injured and sick military veterans that deliver confidence, motivation and resilience courses across the community. So in schools, colleges, we do quite a lot of work with the job centres and those long-term unemployed people to help them build the confidence to get back into that labour market. That's the golden thread of everything that we do. Alongside that, we have bespoke services available for veterans and the members of the Armed Forces community in Cornwall. So we've got the Armed Forces Community Social Prescribing Link Workers. It's a mouthful, but if you don't know what a social prescriber is, have a look. It's a non-clinical approach to a problem. So I've got 2 veterans that are running around Cornwall supporting up to 31,000 veterans that live here. You add the families in, because we don't just support the veteran, we look at the whole family unit. So we support everybody that's there. So there's about 125,000 people that could potentially be looking for support.
Wow, that's an incredible commitment, an incredible body of work for 2 people to drive around and do all of that. That's really brilliant. What conversations are you having with people today? What's your role here, apart from gatekeeping the hub here? I've walked past a couple of times and seen you just outside here meeting different people.
Yeah, so you're right. I kind of adopted that gatekeeper role of engaging with people as they walk past. And when they kind of question who we are and what we're doing, and I introduce that it's the Mental Health Hub, you quickly realise, and they quickly realise, that it's something that they probably need some support with. It might not be support that I can offer, but I can certainly guide them inside the tent to one of the other organisations that are going to be in a better position to give them that kind of guidance, support and advocacy that they may need.
And just very quickly, who have you got behind us? For people that aren't here today, that are maybe coming the next couple of days, you're joined here by a number of such worthwhile organisations, aren't you?
Yeah, so we've got George's Voice, we've got Man Down, we've got Pentreath, we've got, who else have we got? Papaya. There's about 6 or 7 of us here. So, if you're in the area, come and find us. We're on 740, we're opposite the sheep shearing. Just come and have a chat. You might not think that you need us, but then, there might be some information that you can take away for somebody else, pass that information on and save another person's life.
And how vital is it to have this hub here where there's so many like-minded organisations together? Quite often you're quite spread out throughout the site, aren't you? So to actually be here today, to sort of bounce off each other and, as you said, kind of have a bit of a pathway. You can start that conversation and maybe work with each other or with different organisations here. How important is it that there's actually this hub here this year where so many different really important, really positive conversations can happen?
It's hugely important, and like you said, it's the first for Royal Cornwall Show to have the Mental Health Hub. Hopefully the first of very many to come. To be able to have that peer-to-peer support and to be able to refer other people onto an organisation that's right next to you, not saying to them, go down the road, take a left, take a right, by just going, do you know what, come and stand here, I'll get that person to come to you because they are here with me in this tent, and that's where all the expertise are today.
As for Active Plus, if people listening want to get in touch or maybe want to offer some supports, whether that be volunteering, whether it be their services, their experience, maybe that donations, whatever it could be, how can they get in touch and where can they find out more information?
So the best place to find out about what we've got coming up and how you can support us is to look at our social medias. Facebook, most of it's on there, a little bit on Instagram, a little bit on LinkedIn. But yeah, social media is the place to go. Everything we do gets advertised on social media and we're always looking for people to support us.
There we go, Chris Kent from Active Plus. What a great guy and what a positive impact he's having today. And I'll just reiterate, we walked past the Mental Health Hub a couple of times and he's out there catching people, walking past, asking questions, checking in on people's mental health, making sure everyone's okay. So he's got a lovely little role today and he's having some really impactful conversations with people. And if you are coming on Friday, maybe you're coming this afternoon, but Friday or Saturday, do head on over there, 7:40. There are some amazing organisations there. Janice, can I chat to you a little bit about chainsaw carving now? Would that be okay?
You can. I still haven't got the name of my guy that I spoke to who was an expert in the field. I failed you there, Tom, so apologies. Tell me all about it. Did you have a go?
No, unfortunately. We aren't allowed to have a go, but, while he's looking anyway, if I go very quickly or very abruptly, that means I've hauled the fence and I'm having a go. Joe Allen was very keen, by the way.
I can imagine.
He's looking at a nice little future as a chainsaw carver. But yes, this gentleman has come all the way down from Bristol and he's demonstrating all weekend. So I had a bit of a chat with him to catch up on what he's up to and what he's doing, and some of his favourite pieces that he's created over the years too. Can I first of all just ask you to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about the exciting stuff you're doing here at Royal Cornwall Show this weekend, please?
Yeah, so my name's Andy O'Neill. I'm a chainsaw carver. I've been booked to come here to do a demo. I'm based just north of Bristol, so I'm down for the 3 days and make a lot of noise and mess.
Andy, tell me then about chainsaw carving. How do you get into something like this?
So, personally, I got into it because I was a graphic designer when I left school, so I was always quite arty. Didn't like working in offices, so I got out of that, got a job as a tree surgeon. Did that for many years, so I learned how to use chainsaws and then somebody took me to see a guy that was doing chainsaw carvings. So my arty side and my tree side sort of, it's like a light bulb moment really, so I gave it a go, and I've been carving getting on for 20 years now. So
fantastic. What are some of your favourite pieces that you might have created over the years?
There's one very big one in Cirencester Park which should come out really nice. I was really pleased with that. That's the Bathurst estate. I love carving acorns, which is what I'm carving here today. I've done quite a lot of stuff, so it's difficult to sort of pinpoint one, but I've got lots of stuff sort of all over the southwest really.
And how do you find the reaction is to your demonstrations? Because you can make it as interactive as you possibly can, but I guess people can't hop over and just have a go, can they?
No, definitely not. There's a lot of health and safety involved. When I'm carving, I'm in a little world of my own. I've got the radio going on my ear defenders and I just concentrate on what I'm doing. So I think the payoff comes when you finish a piece and you're happy with it, and then you can get some reaction from people, from a finished piece as opposed to the actual process, if you like.
And obviously you had a design eye before you sort of started this, but does becoming, I'm looking at that piece behind you now and other pieces that have been here throughout the day, does it just take lots and lots of practice and imagination and just hours? How many hours must you spend perfecting this art?
Yeah, it's a very long time. You've got to have a real passion for it, otherwise you wouldn't do it for more than half an hour. It's really hard work, and you've got to have, a sort of certain character, I think, that you can lose yourself in the work and enjoy it, and it doesn't seem like work, which I'm lucky. I'm like that. I can beaver away at it for hours and hours and hours on end and not get bored. But if you're not that way inclined, don't bother.
Do you do a mix of kind of where your imagination takes you and more bespoke stuff as well? Maybe different clients, or maybe at events like this someone gives you an idea and you go for it?
Yeah, I mean, I never do drawings, so if I'm working on a commission for with a client, we'll agree on subject matter. So we've got an idea of what's going to actually go into the carving, and then literally I make it up as I go along. So I just pick one thing, start there, and then one thing leads to another, to another, to another. It's not something that I could draw, and I find if you draw things, you then get a little bit inhibited because the customer's expecting a certain thing, and you might be trying to shoehorn that thing into a piece of timber that it doesn't want to go into. So the best way is to just do one thing at a time, go with the flow of the timber, make it up as you go along. That's how I work anyway.
Brilliant. And how do you get into it? Is there classes around the country? Is there kind of apprenticeships? I suppose it's not really something you learn at school, is it?
No, I mean, I came from an arty background, then went into tree surgery and then started carving, so that was the perfect pathway in, basically. I think there are people that probably run courses, but again, there's a lot of health and safety involved. You need to know how to use a chainsaw to begin with, so I'm guessing it lends itself to arborists, tree surgeons, people that already know how to use chainsaws, and they've got the health and safety thing dialed, and then it's just your imagination and creativity from there.
Now, I know what it's like using a pen or pencil and and how frustrating sometimes that can be. How easy is a chainsaw to use for carving? Because some of these are really intricate pieces, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So we're lucky these days. We've got different chainsaws and different bars. So you can have normal chainsaw bars, and they're generally used for blocking big bits of timber out, to get it down to a rough shape. And then you've got carving bars, so you don't get any kickback off of the chainsaw, and you can almost use the tip of that to do very nice curves and tight lines and textures. So yeah, you kind of work your way down from big saws all the way down to quite small saws for the fine detailing.
And where can people find you this weekend? For anybody listening who might be about to start their journey into Royal Cornwall Show 2025, where can you be found? When are you demonstrating all that kind of lovely stuff? Yeah,
so we're in the Woodland area, which I think is next to the flower section, and we're going to be here all day, Thursday, Friday and Saturday.
Fantastic. Well, have a great rest of your Royal Cornwall Show.
Thank you, mate.
There we are.
Tom, it's so lovely to hear a Bristolian accent. I am made up. Thank you for finding a fellow Bristol person.
Oh, do you know what? He was absolutely fantastic. I've got another exclusive interview to share with you, if you like.
Of course.
And it is live, because I'm joined here next to me by another familiar face, another familiar voice that you might recognise. Would you mind introducing yourself, sir?
Hello, I am Joe.
It's Joe.
Hello, Joe.
It's one name, as in like Madonna or Jesus or something. He's or Beyonce, he says, just to be known as Joe. And I want Joe to give us a bit of a view, because you've heard my voice. You've had enough of that now.
Oh yeah, you were so yesterday, aren't you? Let's have Joe on. Come on.
I know. Let's have some Joe. So, Joe, I want you just to be able to share a little bit about shooting Royal Cornwall Show, because you see a lot of it from behind a camera, don't you, through a lens. What have you seen today? What can you share with people? What can people look forward to on social media over the next few days?
Well, Tom, there's so much going on. It's actually kind of difficult to shoot it in one sense. You look through the camera lens and there's 500 different things that you can point it to. I did go on a little excursion earlier, left you for about 20 minutes because I went to go see some donkeys. That was great. I went and photographed the donkeys and spoke to a man, and I think we're going to go do a piece with them at some point. That was really cool. They're based over in Falmouth, so not too far from us, just over the water. There's so much going on. There's so many like mascots and stuff around for all the different stalls. I just saw the air ambulance one jumping around a minute ago. We met a really fun man on roller skates. Was he on roller skates? I think it was on roller skates.
He was on roller skates. Yes, yeah. It wasn't Owen. It was no.
Are you sure?
Another fun man.
Although I would pay to see that. Owen, if you are listening,
roller skates around the show. I suppose they do have tarmac roads. I was thinking it'd be a bit bumpy going over the hillocks that they have there.
He was rapid. Let me tell you. We had a quick chat. He was gone like the winds. Joe, just for people that might be getting into their photo kind of industry and starting their career in photography, how many, imagine you were here for the 3 days and you were shooting this, throughout the weekend. How many photos might you shoot? What sort of the editing time on top of that? What kind of effort does a photographer need to put into something like this? Because you could just be photographing all day long, because there's something everywhere, around every corner here.
You know what, first off, I'll say I feel incredibly lucky that I get to go to things like this and take photos. I mean, photography is one thing I've loved doing for such a long time, and whether it's landscapes, covering live music, or just events like this, I just love doing it. I love being that kind of fly on the wall person. Not taking the standard shots where people are posing for photos. I know you like to pose, Janice, but
just pointing camera at me, I'll do anything.
That's just kind of in the background, long lens, kind of getting the nice smiles and things like that. I mean, from events like, if I was here for over 3 days, I'd probably get like 4,000 plus pictures. I mean, I did an event the other week and I got like 3,500, and that was just me being there for about 8 hours. Yeah, it's just insane. And then obviously got to go back to the office or wherever to edit all the photos. Obviously, I don't pick every single one and edit every single one. That would be a nightmare. However, you've got to just scroll through, pick the ones that you like, pick the ones that you think are going to do well on social media, nice smiley shots, maybe there's a picture of a dog. Dogs always do well. And food does well. But yeah, there's so much that goes in. So many people think that my job's really easy. They just go, oh yeah, you just press a button. I'm like, I first of all, I press a button with and then but there's so much that goes into it. So yeah, I love it.
Joe, is there anything in
we got the inside track. Oh, sorry, he can't hear you.
Oh,
I'm interviewing
okay.
him. He's just sort of he's our guest, Janice, today.
Be our guest.
He's
our
our
guest.
latest interview. That's right. But he's been photographing all day today, but unfortunately he's yet to find my good side. So obviously we're going to have to spend a few more hours here at Royal Cornwall for that to happen.
It's an absolute hardship, isn't it? I feel for you.
Isn't it just? So we are now, our plan now, we've just missed the dog and duck, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
If anybody listening has marked their card for the dog and duck, we've just missed that, unfortunately. But we are now heading over to check out the Royal Cornwall food fair. I'm not sure what they've called it this year. Food fair, something like that. Food hall,
yeah.
Something like that. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly
so
what you're talking about.
We're going to go meet some great Cornish delicatessens and bakeries and all that sort of stuff.
And cheesemakers. Let's put the cheesemakers in there as well, please.
And cheesemakers, yes.
And
yes.
gin as well. There's a lot of gin providers around Cornwall.
Yes,
so.
don't get me in trouble, Janice. I am on duty. But look, it's nearing the end of day one here at Royal Cornwall Show, and the bottom line is, it is absolutely delivered. Yeah, Royal Cornwall Show is here. Make the most of it. The staff and the volunteers. It's Volunteers Week as well. So a massive shout out to all the volunteers here as well. We've had to ask a few questions as we navigate the site as to where this is or where that is, or all those different kind of things, and they've been absolutely fantastic. So shout out to all of the volunteers.
But at the Royal Cornwall Show, there is really something for everyone. They have the demonstration ring. I mean, I love the heavy horses, so that's the reason I go in there. I sort of judge them with the judges. I quite often get them right, so I must have an eye. And the show jumping. But if you don't like that, there's other tents. I'm sure they've got guinea pigs, they've got pigeons, they've got an egg tent, and then you've got the food tent and all the performances in dance. It's just impeccable. I love it there.
Let me tell you, breaking news, the pigs are massive. There are massive pigs here, Janice.
Giant pigs.
And Joe's offended now because he thinks I'm talking about him, but the pigs are ginormous. And the scale of some of the animals. You drive past fields here in Cornwall all of the time, and you see these animals from afar, but it's not until you get up close that, oh crikey, that the bulls are huge, and the cows and all of it. It's a great environment to be in. There's lots going on.
All options,
we've just been
aren't
eyeing up
there?
some hot tubs as well.
Yeah,
that could
okay.
be a nice link up.
How would you do
up.
that? How would you work that into? It's like, we need a hot tub now at Camille's, do we?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
This is my request. This is,
Okay.
I'm not a prima donna or needy, but I will try and see if I can get it written into my contract.
I think that's a definite way to go. So I'll let you guys go off to the food tent, of which I'm extremely envious about, and have a chat with lots of people. If there's anybody there that sells cheese, just get me their mobile number and get me their email so I can have them on the show, and we can do some taste testing, Tom. Don't you think?
I'm going to come back to Camille's with, like, it will look like I've got a tattoo sleeve down my arm. It will just be numbers of cheese restaurants or cheese sellers for you. Cheese restaurants, that sounds quite good.
Oh, there is one in London.
All the way down my arm.
Yeah, there is one in London, but I've not
wonderful.
been there yet. But it's definitely a must-see.
Newswave.
Right, I'm Tom Howe, and you're listening to a Newswave special from the Royal Cornwall Show here on Chaos Radio. In between then our live links into Janice and Ross, Joe and I got our steps up around the showgrounds, capturing even more content to celebrate some of the amazing organisations that we have here in Cornwall. We're bringing you a mixture of that now on Newswave, taking you on a journey through Cornish wrestling to local business support and ending on the Rare Breeds Survival Trust. We're nothing if not diverse here on Chaos.
Newswave.
Right, so as the sun has come out here at the Royal Cornwall Showgrounds, we have come over to the Lakeside Arena where we have found some Cornish wrestlers. Would you mind just introducing yourselves to us? Who have we got here today?
Hi, I'm Richard Corley and I'm the head coach of the Cornish Wrestling Association.
Fantastic. And yourself, sir?
Hi there, you're right. I'm Luke Hannaford and I coach as well at the wrestling.
Brilliant. Right, let's talk Cornish wrestling. How did you both end up as Cornish wrestlers?
So my journey started with my dad and my uncles being into it, and we used to go to family barbecues, and my uncles and my dad used to just put the jackets on us. I was about 4 years old when we first started. They used to just put a blanket down on the floor and you just had to get involved, and once I got involved, myself and my cousins, we all stayed involved, and I've been doing it for about 30 years now.
Okay, so a really traditional family entry into Cornish wrestling. How about yourself?
Yeah, so I went to school with one of Richard's cousins. He's your cousin? Yeah, cousin. And then it was actually him and my brother. They started talking, and then my brother went, and being a twin, wherever your twin goes, mother always forces you to go. And yeah, 12 years later, I'm still here, so yeah, it's all right.
Small world, isn't it? Cornwall, small world. How do you... Actually, let's strip it back a sec. For people that aren't aware, can we just talk about the Cornish wrestling, how it differs from maybe other forms of wrestling, what makes it inherently Cornish, all that kind of thing?
So the Cornish wrestling, it's not choreographed. When you're in a competition, you are fighting for a championship. The trophies that we fight for now are over 100 years old when the associations got amalgamated. But the records go back to the 12th century and before, when the trophies and the belts that you'd fight for them would be, you'd fight for them and then keep them. So it's historically Cornwall, because anywhere in the world that you go, where there's a hole in the ground and there's Cornish boys, there would be Cornish wrestling. We've got records of Cornish wrestling in South Africa, America, Australia, and it's still called Cornish wrestling. It's still run under the same rules with the same jacket.
And what you're trying to achieve, we saw a brilliant demonstration there where there was limbs flying around everywhere. What's the skill? What's the art? What are you trying to achieve when you're on the mat there?
So with Cornish wrestling, the aim of it is to throw your opponent on their back. So you've got 4 points, one for each shoulder blade and one just above each buttock on the hip. Again, if they land flat on their back, it's what's called a back, and you win automatically. If, however, you don't get the back, you win with accumulated points. So yeah, the idea is to throw your opponent from a standing position onto their back. Anything other than your feet or your back touch the floor, then that's it. You stand back up, shake hands again.
And how many members strong might you be across Cornwall and I suppose the wider world now as well, if we're spreading across the globe?
Unfortunately, I'd say we've probably got about 30 members on a good day, which is nowhere near enough. There's other associations that have hundreds and another association that has thousands, but they're different Celtic styles of wrestling. So it shows us that we can get to the strong numbers again. We go to France every year wrestling, and they have nearly 2,500 members of the Celtic wrestling style. So we know that we can get there, we just need more people to turn up to the clubs.
And in terms of history and things as well, are we seeing a decline in numbers or a bit of a revival? Are we seeing more people take it up now?
Yeah, so I mean, last year we had a 100% increase in like people turn up and pay pay towards membership. So obviously we're doing something right. I mean, last year we managed to get sponsors, our main one from Beacon Vet Care, as well as a grant from the council that we've been lucky enough to have. And it's just through stuff like that. Obviously, we do this voluntary, but not everyone does everything voluntary. Obviously, everyone's trying to take a bit of the pie. So stuff like grants and sponsorships are amazing for the sport, and that's what will help us grow.
It's quite cool to get the day off work to come and do this at the Royal Cornwall Show in front of so many people, though. How, if people have been inspired maybe to start their journey or find out more information, where do they need to go? How can they get in touch?
We're pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, which is just type in Cornish Wrestling and you're able to find us. And we have 2 clubs that currently run, one in St Austell at the Rifle Club that runs on a Monday between 7 and 9, and a club on a Friday in St Columb Major in the Columbus Centre that runs from 6 till 7.
Newswave.
Can you introduce yourself and tell me a bit about your role and what you're doing here this weekend, please?
My name's Keris. I'm in the communications team at the Growth Hub, and the Growth Hub is a Cornwall Council run government funded programme for businesses to access all the free business support, government funded free business support.
Amazing. So, how do people access that? When you say support, what does that mean? And where can people find out more information? Give me the A to Z.
Right, so basically go on our website. If you just search Cornwall Growth Hub, and you can find our website, give us a call. That's the best thing to do. Talk to our team of business connectors. So if you run an existing business or you're thinking about starting a business, then you can get in touch and we can give you the next steps. We'll have a conversation with you, find out about all your opportunities and your challenges, and then point you in the direction of the free business support. So we've got a number of business support programs, and they can help with anything from finance, innovation. So that means if you're launching any new products or services, they can help you with that, and various different other things around mentoring and coaching. So kind of business planning type stuff. Got a lot of stuff around that. So that's basically, if that relates to your business. Every business needs a bit of help. It could be that they've got big plans, or it could be that they just want to maybe work a bit more efficiently, so maybe even just work a bit less but earn the same amount of money. That still is growth, and as I say, go on our website, find out more, and just give us a call, because every single business is different, and that's why we have that kind of individual one-to-one support with one of our connected team.
And is it everything from a man in a van to much larger organisations as well?
Absolutely. So long as you're based in Cornwall, so not helping anyone over the Tamar, they can get their own support. So anyone who's based in Cornwall, if you're running a business, sole trader, or even if you're not running it yet, but you're thinking about starting a business, right over to kind of big businesses with hundreds of thousands of turnover, with lots and lots of staff. There's something for everyone.
And how many people might you be working with? I don't need an exact number necessarily, but you must be positively impacting a huge amount of people.
We've got a leaflet there actually with some of our kind of big numbers. We've supported thousands of businesses. We speak to hundreds of businesses every week. We're speaking to a lot of businesses. I think we turned the businesses that we spoke to in the last year is nearly £1 billion worth of turnover. So it's a lot of money, but a big impact on the Cornish economy.
And you're back here at the Royal Cornwall Show. You always seem synonymous with this spot as well.
Yeah, we've got a great spot here next to the pavilion. It's absolutely fantastic. We're hoping to see William tomorrow. Sorry, have I dated this interview now? We're hoping to see William walk past here, because we're right next to the pavilion and right next to the Duchy stand here. So we're in a really good spot. And we see Titan a couple of times a day as well.
What more could you want?
Exactly.
There you go. Perhaps if Titan needs any business support, he could pop into the Growth Hub here.
He does. He needs a new act, I think. He needs some new songs. He's the only one I ever hear doing Gangnam Style.
Newswave.
I'm Angela Kingsnorth, and I'm here to represent the Rare Breed Survival Trust. The Survival Trust was formed in 1973 because a little group of people realised that our traditional farm animals were disappearing, and these animals are as much a part of our heritage as stately buildings and lovely views. And we've got a lovely display of animals here today. We've got two different sorts of goats. We've got Golden Guernsey goats and English goats, lots of different sheep, and some very posh piglets here in the corner, some Berkshire piglets. We've got a lovely Shire horse there. His name is Frank. He came to us last year as well. He's a beautiful Shire, and I think you all ought to come and see him. We've got an Exmoor pony and a White Park cow.
Magnificent, aren't they? Can I just ask, what constitutes a rare breed? What might be the point at which you step in?
As the numbers are going down, and some of them really have very limited numbers. I mean, everybody wants to support pandas and tigers, but these animals are just as important, and some of them have got very few left in the breeding line. If you get the numbers too low, then you get genetic problems with inbreeding. So it is important to keep them going. So we have a gene bank to store the genetics, and it's just that we don't want them to disappear. We don't know what we might need in the future. In very recent times, people wouldn't pay for fat on a joint of meat. So people had animals, pigs, that had no fat on them. Now people have realised that you need that for a decent joint of meat. And we do eat our rare breeds.
Yes, indeed. Right, if people want...
They've got to have a purpose. So that's why we do say, that you eat them. And after all, what are you going to do with males if you don't want them for breeding? I'm sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. If people would like more information, if they've been inspired to maybe support the Rare Breed Survival Trust, where can they look? How can they get in touch with you?
They can come and we have a local support group, the Cornwall Support Group, or else they can get in touch with the Trust, which has their main offices at Stoneleigh. You'll find them online, and you can find us online as well, or you can come and see us here in the tent.
Newswave.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of Newswave. A big Chaos Radio thank you to everybody who joined us at the Royal Cornwall Show. Let's do it all again next year, shall we? And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all of our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. That's it, you're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe, thanks very much for listening.
Newswave.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.